it's so interesting when we talk about themes and tones for this team. Last night on Knicks Weekly, episode 140, for those of you guys that had tuned in, you heard about what our biggest concerns were, myself and Alex. And for the both of us, and for a lot of you guys at home, it was the Knicks' three-point defense. It had been abysmal as of late, and their transition defense again. And so here it is. They're going up against a stout New Orleans team who is a points in the paint led team, but they couldn't stop him from three either. And that was started off by Saddiq Bey, who a lot of you guys joked, was he trying out for his Knicks uniform because they could not stop Saddiq Bey. I believe he made his first 13 points, finished with 23 points in the first quarter. And what was kind of cool was that you had a duel with Mohamed Diawara setting the tone for the Knicks in the first quarter. He would have 13 points. So I made the joke, the two Knicks fans are watching these two guys like the boxing referee meme, because you're like, whoa, these two wings showing off some sensational skill sets. And we'll get to Diawara later because, man, he continues to show you some really good things. But the Knicks were in trouble, man. Their defense, they could not stop the three. We'll talk about why in a bit. But this is why the performance of a guy like an OG Anunoby was so crucial, because without Mitch, without Josh Hart, not only did the Knicks defense suffer, but so did their rebounding. They lost the rebounding battle tonight, 50-42. And only had 13 second chance points. Give credit to New Orleans. They did a great job of keeping the Knicks off of the glass and limiting them to just one shot, despite the fact that the Knicks ball movement was pretty good for the better part of the game. It was pretty good. So second half now, they're down by 10 and down by 7 going into the fourth. And first and foremost, give credit to Kolek and Clarkson. I thought they set a good tone in the fourth, getting the offense going and getting the Knicks on board. They would score the first 5 points out the fourth quarter for the Knicks. And then my chain turning point of the game, welcome back Deuce McBride. Miles McBride coming back from the high ankle sprain. Only had 2 points in the first half, but boy, oh boy, did he get it going in that fourth quarter. Deuce was absolutely sensational. And my turning point, this was I'm just going at the play-by-play. Salute to everybody in the chat. We at 99,974. Let's go. Subscribe. Let's talk about it. Turning point of the game. With 8:02 left in the fourth, Deuce would hit a three to tie the game. And again, this was after, they had to tighten up defensively. So Deuce hits the three to tie the game. They would come down. OG gets the steal on Jeremiah Fears. And then that would lead to the Karl Anthony Towns three at the 7:42 mark. You had the feeling that, look, it was a disappointing defensive effort. All the Knicks had to do was keep it close. As the better team, knowing who the Pelicans are, eventually the Knicks were going to take this one. Just keep it close. And that's what they did. But they had to start with their defense. And every time... The one thing about Deuce's minutes is that even though offensively it took him a while to get his legs, defensively, his minutes on the defensive side, they were good squad minutes when he was out there. In the second quarter and in the fourth quarter, that's when the Knicks defense was way better. So Deuce ties the game at 8:02. Karl Anthony Towns gets the Knicks the lead at 7:42. And then you had yourself a game. At that point, you're like, we're good money. And so... that's really all they had to do until crunch time. Knicks are up by 1 on the Captain Clutch Jalen Brunson 3. And then, give credit to New Orleans, give credit to Borrego. They said, look, we're not going to have Brunson beat us. We're going to put 2 on the ball. So that put the Knicks in a different type of situation. 2 on the ball scenario. Who's going to be the next guy to step up and make a play? Because... yes, Karl had that 3, but as Alan Hahn said in the telecast, you really didn't feel his impact the entire game, so it was hard to even count on Towns to deliver in crunch time. But then there's Deuce, who hit a big corner 3 with 2:28 left. They put 2 on the ball. Brunson kicks it to McCall. He swings it to Deuce in the corner. I thought there was a foul there. I thought there was contact there. They called this game pretty physical, which I don't mind, but I did think that was a foul there on Deuce. So the Knicks would take the lead with 2:28 left on the Deuce 3. Zion comes back And Zion was good tonight. Give him credit, even though I thought the dog fought him very well. Zion comes back with the inside score, and then the dog OG comes back and matches that, puts the Knicks back up by 1. You had the Jordan Poole misses the Jordan Poole chucks a 31-footer. You know that's off. Knicks get the rebound, come back, and you get the Jalen Brunson floater off of the Deuce McBride offensive rebound. That was a big offensive rebound with 108 left by Deuce McBride. Gets it to Jalen Brunson, who sinks it in for the floater. So you had a couple back and forths there. Ends with Deuce making 4 free throws there at the end. 12 of his 14 points in that fourth quarter. You had OG getting you on the board with 23 points, 11 rebounds. I thought that was big. Without Mitch, without Josh, somebody had to step up and get gritty, as it says on the t-shirt. It wasn't pretty, but it was gritty. T-shirts in stores now. Head over to KnicksFanTV.com. Had to do it. And, you know, I call it the setup for the Captain Clutch knockout. Keep it close, and Cap is going to take us home, and that's exactly what the Knicks did. We got to figure out how to get the three-point defense tightened up. Got to figure that out. I didn't think the effort overall defensively was strong tonight, and they better do it because Wednesday night they're going to be in for another dogfight. But hey, maybe it was a little New Orleans home cooking. They were a little bit slow, but they got the job done. You know, we have these debates in terms of like who was a player of the game. Was it Cap? You could easily go Cap, but I got to go with the dog OG, man. Just the 23 points, the 11 rebounds, and just overall, like I said, they needed somebody to get gritty tonight. Zion was getting gritty. Sadiq Bey was getting gritty. And with no Mitch, with no Josh Hart, and with Towns with foul trouble, that they just really didn't have anybody out there, especially from the front court perspective. But that was where OG stepped in. I thought he was strong. I mean, those drives to the basket, physical drives to the basket by OG was something to see. And as I said, as we think about all-star selections, I think the coaches are going to get him in. I think the coaches, without question, are going to get OG in. And so it's just a matter of time. The dog deserves that respect, and he's been a hell of a player for these Knicks, man. Hell of a player for these Knicks. And, you know, he was coming in. He was kind of cold when he came into this game. He hadn't been firing as much from 3, but he was getting it busy inside, which was a good sign for OG Anunoby. Here he was after the game with Bill Pito of MSG Networks. Hang tight. Let's get to OG. And here was the dog. Here we go.
It's OG. We got Jordan Clarkson. Hey, congrats on a great performance. What was it like going head-to-head against Zion Williamson? It seemed so physical to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's an amazing player, you know, one of the toughest covers in the league, you know, downhill. Like, he's really an incredible player, so it was really cool.
You guys gave up 75 first-half points, but only 50 points allowed in the second half. What was the difference in the second half on the defensive end?
Just taking the challenge, you know, being more physical, you know, doing what the coaches have us do every day, you know, and just following through on the court, executing.
You guys are doing a great job here of late down the stretch, winning these games at crunch time. What's been the key to that, you think?
Getting stops and then efficient scoring, you know, getting a good shot every time down and then getting stops.
Diawara gets a start, career high 18. What's it like to be on a team where it seems like it's a different, unheralded player stepping up every night? I mean,
everyone's talented, and Mo's a super talent. You know, he's going to keep getting better and better, and it was awesome for him to see. You know, he's an amazing player. He's going to keep getting better and better. It's really cool to see.
OG, congrats. Happy New Year. Great to see you.
Happy New Year.
All right, that was the dog, OG Anunoby, and again, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 6 free throws. You know, 8 of 22 from the field, but he got what he needed and got what the team needed from him, and that was the two big steals in that fourth quarter. But the Knicks got contributions from just about everybody. As I said, Deuce McBride, one of our role players of the game. The Deuce is loose, came back in the nick of time. 14 points for Deuce. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 8 from downtown, 4 of 8 from the field, and 2 of 5 from downtown. Made his big free throws, and 12 of those 14 points for Deuce came in that final period. Seems like, you know, the rust had to wear off for Deuce, but he would get it cracking in the nick of time. And another player who just had to play like a dog. The Knicks needed more dogs to match New Orleans' output and Zion's output, and Deuce was fantastic for this team. And I thought what was also big was the offensive rebound that he got late in that game, feeding Jalen Brunson and Cap putting it in with that teardrop. Because this game was shifting back and forth. Of Trey Murphy, they had a tough time stopping Trey Murphy. Zion got some easy buckets there in crunch time. So I thought that offensive rebound by Deuce was huge and really helped keep the Knicks in the game so that Captain Clutch could do what he does best, which is close. The captain, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Marquise Brunson, to be exact, who finished the game with 28 points, 10 dimes. And though he would shoot 10 of 23 from the field, hey, shot 5 of 10 from downtown. But hey, all you got to do is keep it close for the captain, because in crunch time, he's going to deliver. And if we tally this up, 3 points for Cap, 6 points for Cap, 8 points for Cap. That was the floater. Driving layup, that was the one where he took Kevon Looney off the dribble. So there you go. 10 points for Jalen Brunson in crunch time. What more could you ask for from your captain? 10 points for Cap in crunch time. With 5 minutes to go, he drops 10 points on him. Even when they try to take the ball out of his hands, they try to put 2 on the ball. And good job by the Knicks for executing. You know, a lot of the times they get put in those 2 on the ball situations, it's Josh Hart that's kind of handling that, playing the middle and playmaking from there. But tonight, it was Mikal Bridges, and then it was Deuce that was handling a lot of that. So, yeah, 10 points in crunch time for Captain Clutch, Jalen Brunson. Could have easily been tonight's player of the game, but I opted to go with OG. I wanted to give the dog a little bit more credit, and for the rebounding and for generating the turnovers that the Knicks needed to kind of take that momentum back in the game, and in particular in the fourth quarter when he had the 2 steals. But hey, can't knock the captain. And how about Mo Diawara? Oh my goodness. When I saw the first play, I said, we got wings. We got wings. That's what I said. I'm eating dinner. At the first play of the game, they find Mo Diawara for the mismatch. And this was all about his confidence, man. Like, he continues to be more and more confident every second. Every second. So they get him on the mismatch with Fears. Takes him to the hole, turnaround jump hook. It was beautiful. Corner 3, snap in the nets. Catch and shoot. Don't even think about it. Rise and fire, Mo Diawara. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. This guy, we got wings, man. We got wings. We got wings. Salute to my guy. I had to play my Gus Johnson soundbite. Salute to Gus. He's one of my favorites. But, yeah, the confidence, the stones from Mo Diawara. I mean, is this the Pascal prototype we were talking about? But with the wingspan and the size, man. Whoa. To see him out there next to OG, he almost looks like a center. To see him out there with OG, with Mikal, running off of a screen, catches the pitch from Karl-Anthony Towns, knocks down a 3. And then his transition speed, next play speed. Ashwin's right. Mo Diawara, pencil him in for playoff minutes. You can pencil him in for playoff minutes. Let's go. We got wings, baby. Wingstop is now fortified. Pacome, you got to take notes. Your man is getting busy right now. Let's take a look at the key stats of the night. Let's go, man. 100 KFTV, we in here. Key stats of the night. Both teams shooting fairly well from the field, man. 48% for the Knicks, 46% for the Pelicans. Knicks shot 45% from downtown, 39% for the Pelicans. And free throw percentage, wow. A good one for the Knicks tonight. 18-19, 95% from the free throw line. Pelicans shoot 85%. Knicks did lose the rebounding battle, 50-42. Assists, 35 Knicks assists on 46 made field goals. Very efficient offense. They were getting good looks, good shots, knocking them down. And then total turnovers, only 9 for the Knicks, which led to 13 Pelicans points. Pelicans turning the ball over 12 times, which led to 12 Knicks points. Knicks winning the fast break battle 16-10. They did get 13 second chance points off of those, off of the 10 offensive rebounds. They did lose a points in the paint battle. That was a Zion effect, 54-42. And then largest lead of the night, 5 for the Knicks, 10 for the Pelicans. Pelicans led this game 78% of this game. Pelicans win the lead. Pelicans win the lead. But my key stat is something that we talked about last night on Knicks Weekly, episode 140. It's the three-point defense. And especially in the first quarter, they were killing him. Saddiq Bey knocked down a ton. They were just killing him. Trey Murphy, I think, knocked down a 3 in that quarter. Jordan Poole as well. And it's a carryover from last year. And from what I saw, just in watching quickly, because you don't really have time to rewind, watch, because you got to get to postgame. But from what I saw, for one, the closeouts are late. The closeouts are late. They want to pack the paint and prevent the Pelicans, prevent Zion from getting those paint points, which Pelicans still got theirs. But then you got to rush out to the shooters. You got to close out to the shooters. You had one example, especially in one of the Saddiq Bey threes, when the ball crosses the court and you got to X out the weak side. Well, Brunson closes out on the corner. Diawara was late. You heard Mike Brown on the microphone on that hot mic yelling at Diawara, you got to be quicker to close out. When you close out, when you X out on the weak side, you have to be able to run out to the shooter. They were late. That was an open Saddiq Bey 3. They had others where in transition, because they're not tagging up and they're not matching up, sometimes you got Jalen Brunson out there on a bigger player, on a Saddiq Bey, on a Trey Murphy, and they're knocking it down. They had another situation. I mean, this one was more a good shot by Jordan Poole. You live with it when the Knicks were in a zone, 2-3 zone, and Poole pulls up for a 31-footer. You give him that. You live with it. He's a chuck. It is what it is. But by and large, the three-point defense, where I saw it go wrong was just the late closeouts, man. Just the late closeouts. Guys not communicating. The effort to get these guys off of the three-point line just wasn't there as a collective. And I think that's part of what led to their issues. And you even saw late in the game, in their huddles, and Mike Brown coaching the entire night, screaming. You could tell that there's a disconnect there with the three-point defense. So they have to work on that. On some nights, if you're going to have Cap out there, you're going to have Deuce, you're going to have Kolek, some nights they're just going to shoot over you, right? And you live with it. But you can't live with the delayed responses, the delayed reactions, and not hustling to close guys out. If Brown is going to commit to dropping these guys into the paint and committing to taking away the paint points, then how else are you going to cut off the threes? You got to get back out. Or he's got to be a little bit more conservative with regards to guarding the paint. You know, we'll see what Mike Brown has to say there. But that was my observations in terms of the Knicks three-point defense tonight, because with them being so bad, I mean, they're damn near in the bottom of the league in three-point percentage and attempts. So they got to tighten up there. Definitely got to tighten up.
More Diawara, I think he is gonna get some significant playoff minutes because there's a lot of time to develop for him, and I think we are gonna need his length and his defense and his athleticism in playoffs. Now it's just confusing what the thing will be between Kolek and
Clarkson,
McBride.
Okay.
So let's see what that happens. And I think Trey Johnson is very good third string center. Yeah. He was really good, solid. But in the end, it was a good game. I'm really looking forward to play against Spurs. And once again, CP, man, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Ashwin from India, throw a 5 in the chat.